Welcome back for our 13th episode of Bar Shifts and Bullshit. I'm your host, Lily Lavender, and we've got Jaybird here too. And this episode is going to be about detachment. So, a bartender's job can be stressful. It can be very stressful. Even more stressful during specific times of the year, especially right now. We have a couple key pointers on how to, as a bartender, detach yourself from the problems around you with other bartenders, other servers, owners, whatever.
So we're coming into this time of year. The season's pretty much coming to a close end. Not many events are left out there. Things are getting colder. People are wanting to stay indoors. Problem with staying indoors all the time and getting in close quarters with your significant other, or your family, is like you're getting tired of them really quick, especially when you had a full year of excitement all year long. I'm already starting to witness a downcline or a downturn in people's personality and people's vibe now that everything's getting slower and people are starting to acknowledge actual real conversations.
Yeah, there are more people being assholes right now than we've had to deal with all summer long.
And this doesn't just end at the bar. This doesn't end with the customer base. Yes, I've had some really, really weird and shitty people here lately. Even in the last few days, people have been really awkward when they come to a bar. Like they forget how to, have social interactions with one another. But all of a sudden, other employees and other guests, or other employees and other people that I know and I have genuine conversations with, are just in their own head right now. So I think people are just kind of freaking out, and they're just out of the right mindset to be able to have social interactions. So we're going to come up with some pointers that help us kind of get through this time while reevaluating everybody else's situations. For me, I'm all about detachment. This is the time of year where you got to really sit back and understand and realize that you can't live the same lifestyle that you do in the spring or in the summer. You can't go out and just do all these things. You can't stay active. You can't keep blood moving. So that really puts a huge downturn on your mindset. It's really it can be unhealthy about the way you start actually seeing things. So for me, if you can make it to the gym, get yourself in a routine, that definitely helps. Staying active is really, really hard in the winter. I know everybody wants to put on the extra weight and that bare hibernation weight and just stay at the house and just kind of chill, which sounds great as long as you can kind of keep yourself occupied. But 3 or 4 days, you're going to get stir crazy and you're going to start nitpicking at your significant other or family members. I know my son gets drove crazy when he's at the house by himself with me. I prank a lot and he pranks a lot, but if you kind of put that in the same room, we terrorize each other and we aggravate the piss out of each other for sure. And he's getting to where he hates life, so I'm trying to send him on. Luckily for me, he's got a lot of extracurricular activities where he's in the band and wrestling and all this other stuff. So
Well, see, then that's the other point is we all have hobbies. Not just the gym, but I read. So I'll stay home. I'll get cozy and I will read all day, all night. But we had to put off all of our hobbies throughout the year because we were busy. And now it's starting to slow down. So pick back up a hobby.
yeah, and try to stay close to things that don't cost money. Reading is a good one. I've got a buddy that actually, I've got a buddy that watches movies and rates them. Apparently, that's a hobby. That's never been my thing. But it keeps him occupied. It keeps his mind on a different, on a mindset where he's not, being drove crazy. Mm-hmm. But now's the time where relationships kind of start to go south too, and people start nitpicking and hating on each other, and you see it's weird. It seems like every day's a full moon. Everybody's full of drama, and everybody's ready to fight and argue and split up and start dating other people and doing all the crazy shit that you wouldn't see throughout the year. I don't know what it is about this time of year. But it's just it's definitely something that it's mind blowing to kind of have to readjust and reassess. So if you guys are going through some weird mental struggles right now, just take a step back and start thinking about what's need to be reevaluated in your life. Have conversations. There's nothing wrong with it. Especially throughout the year where you're busy all the time, you don't have social interactions like you should. Well, in the wintertime, you're kind of stuck with somebody. You know, you have this extra time where you have to figure out what to do. And then all of a sudden you start having boring conversations and you're trying to push through those boring conversations. Make it mindless, make it effortless. Like, you guys know what nitpick at each other. You know your pet peeves. You know what bothers each other. Don't harp on that. Like, leave it alone. You guys, there's nothing wrong with taking some space. Because keep in mind, you haven't had, you've been busy all year long. So all this extra time, you don't have to fill it with arguments or drama. You can separate yourself and take some time for just you. And now's the time to do it.
Well, hell, like if you got kids, take them out. Go do something fun. Go on a hike. I don't know. I don't care. Just, you weren't able to spend time with your kids all year long, and now you can. This is one of the most family-oriented times of year. Yeah. You got Thanksgiving around the corner. You got Christmas around the corner. For me, it's my son's 4th birthday today. And, you could find some type of activity where you don't even have to spend money if money is tight right now.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And where money's tight, the parks are still open and hikes are, this is actually a great time to go hiking. I know it's cold out there, bundle up, make it work. But, like I said, my youngin' is definitely in the middle of everything. He's definitely filled up his whole schedule. So all of a sudden, I'll take my days off to hang out with him. I'm actually really excited about that. Just me and him being able to just hang out and do the things that we do. I can't wait because he loves the movies. I'm a sucker for the movies. That's what we'll be doing. Plus, it's cheap, depending on what theater you go to. Nowadays, is where it used to be like $5 is now 14. So I'm kind of struggling with that mindset a little bit. $100 has never felt so much like $3 in my life. Yeah. So I'm still waiting for that one day where somebody just tips me $1,000 and I can just breathe easy for a little bit. But so if you're out there and you're my next sugar mama and you just want to drop $1,000 for your old pal Jay Bird, I'd appreciate it. It could not be more appreciated this time of year. But yeah, make sure you're detached. Don't be picking fights. Things are just kind of crazy. For me, things are kind of crazy right now. Yeah, I've got a lot of friends going through some drama, and it's hard to. I like to feel like I have everybody's back. You know what I'm saying? I try to be a friend that'll do whatever he can to help a friend out as much as possible. But it seems like here lately, everybody's just wanting to fight and pick fights.
Yeah, everyone has something going on with them right now. And for me, it's easy to detach from people. I can alienate myself. I can go straight home after work and unwind when I get home with reading. But that's mine.
Well, and to the more spirited bartenders and servers out there, keep in mind if people are detaching right now, don't take it personally. Don't think that anything's wrong. They just need a mental break. Yeah. You and I are kind of different on that front. You thrive and you get more energetic the more people are in good moods and you're surrounded by people that you really like. Yeah. Me, I really, really do enjoy what I do. I love what I do. But for me, if I'm entertaining all day long, and even though if I'm smiling and having a good time, I really, really do enjoy my downtime. But I want to be alone and people to leave me alone. I don't want people talking to me. Dead silence in the room sounds amazing. Where I don't have to entertain or prove or acknowledge anybody else. I enjoy that time. And some people a lot of people get stir crazy on that front. But at the same time, that's my piece. Honestly, if it was a little bit warmer outside, I would put up the hammock and just lay by the creek.
It's way too cold.
It's way too cold. I may still do it anyway. Just build a bonfire and go. And this bonfire season, by the way, if you got a 4-wheel drive and you can get up in the woods, definitely take advantage of that. I'm kind of jealous to all you fuckers that got a truck. I miss having a truck. But now's the time for some bonfires, getting out, playing some good music, and just bringing on the good vibes, man. But yeah, for me, it's going to be detachment. If there's any advice to give on this subject, you got to kind of just don't let yourself go nuts in this whole era we're coming up into. Find some good hobbies, find some things that make you happy, and stick to it. And now's the time. Like for me, this is my spring cleaning time of year because spring's usually the height when we start getting busy again. Yeah. So for me, I start cleaning and doing all these other projects and start working on my apartment and getting things straight because I have time and it doesn't cost anything. Yeah. So like there's definitely projects that can be done and taken advantage of. I know you guys are right around the holidays. Save as much money as you can. We did a segment not too long ago on financial stability and pulling up on the tricks. Now's the time to put those things to work. Make sure all your bills are paid. Make sure and take advantage of the situation and start trying these new things that Lily Lavender and I have thrown out for you. I know I did the penny challenge and she done the envelope test, which I'm going to try yours here pretty soon. I think that one will be a lot more fun than mine. I always make it to honestly, I can make it to about $1,800 with the penny challenge before I'm like, nah, I want to set stuff back. So I'm going to try the envelope challenge here pretty soon and see how well that does. And if you missed that segment, you should probably dial back a couple of episodes and find out what these challenges are about because I'm not going to revisit them.
No, I'm not either.
It's up to you guys to do this research, man, and find new ways to save money. Christmas is around the corner. Black Friday is weeks away. And I don't know about you, but we were discussing earlier that people go on vacation in January, not to be shitty or not to be pompous, but I feel like rich people go on vacation in January.
Yeah, because I'm struggling with figuring out how I'm going to pay this amount. But,
I understand that January is cheap and nobody wants to go on vacation that time of year, so it's the best time for a lot of people. The reason is because the holidays are on top of us, and for you lowly surviving bartenders out there, as well as I do, you're broke after the month of December. No money whatsoever. And I've been blessed with a kid that was born in November, so I get to...
Same. But I have 5 kids, so it's all year long.
You definitely got your own tribe out here. I don't have to worry about such things.
So, yes, we're going to wrap this up with detach yourself from people, the environment, whatever. Pick up your hobby, go work out. I mean, the bartender that I work with, he works out twice a day. Yeah, and
that's definitely the time where you can actually put some more hours into your projects.
You definitely can, which I'm gonna start doing once I'm not sick anymore. Yeah. But it's easy to get sucked into other people's lives, listening to their stories and what went on and stuff like that. But don't sit there and continuously go places with them if you're struggling for money or going out or whatnot.
Don't stretch yourself thin, guys. I understand that you guys got friends that you want to take care of and you want to have their back and all that stuff. That's great. But if it puts you in a position where you have to sacrifice, it's really not worth it. Everybody's going through some shit, and this is the time of year where everybody goes through the most, I think. I feel like. Yeah. So don't strain yourself into a position where you ended up sacrificing stuff from your personal life or your mental health or your family, for that matter, to accommodate somebody. Because at the end of the day, you're a grown adult, and so is the other person. And when it comes down to it, what the harsh reality of this whole situation is that for most people, I ain't saying all, but for most people, if you bend over backwards and you do everything in the world for them, and then they get on their feet, but you start to crumble, they won't repay the favor. So don't give above your means. I'd actually got some really good advice when I was a kid. Not that I followed it, but when I was a kid, my uncle used to tell me all the time, he's like, if you're going to lend money, never expect to get it back, ever. It's like people are notorious for not paying back their debts. And if you pay back your debts, that's great. But if you're the one that's lending money or you're helping out with certain situations expecting a return, you're going to be disheartened and brokenhearted about the situation.
And broke.
Yeah, and broke. So if you've got it to give and you feel comfortable giving it, knowing that you may never give it back, that's part of the advice. give it by all means. You're okay. But if it comes into a situation where you have to give something that you don't feel comfortable giving, or you have to, or it'll put you in a bind, it's really not worth it because it's not going to help you out in a long time. The hardest, and my circle of friends has definitely closed off or is shrunken down to a select few because of that fact, because I had nothing else to give. So don't be afraid to say no. That's usually the hardest thing to do for people like us, for sure. Saying no and saying like, listen, I wish I could, I can't help, I ain't got it. I had more advice from my uncle in that same thing. I had asked him, I had struggles with other family members needing stuff. And he told me, and he was like, "Do you have kids?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, I have kids." And he's like, "And you're married?" I was married at the time. And he was like, "Then you have no money." He's like, I ain't gonna lie to you." He said, "If you got $3,000 in the bank in your savings and you've got a family, you have no money. Something's gonna come up. You're gonna need diapers. You're gonna need medicine. Somebody's gonna get sick. Your car's gonna break down. Keep all this, and shit happens to people all the time. So if you have all these responsibilities and shit happens to you on a regular basis, like me, don't just give it away. You've earned that. You've worked hard for it. If you're in a position where you can give it, by all means, that's up to you. You're a grown ass adult, but don't sacrifice you and your well-being to do so. But I guess they're going to wrap this one up today. It's going to be like a real short episode, but I appreciate you guys listening, and we'll talk to you again next week, guys. Love you.